Hey, Vulcan Nation. Welcome to the first show of the 2024 new year. It's the Jess Strom Show. I'm your host, Katie Tetzlaw, and I'm with two wonderful guests from the Cal U women's basketball team. We have Miss Alicia Young, Miss Nina Shaw. Now, folks, they are going to introduce themselves. For the people that don't know you, Nina, why don't you say your name, where you're from, your major, and what year you are.
Okay. Hey, I'm Nina Shaw. I'm from the Butler area in PA. I went to Knox High School. My major is psychology, but next year I'm looking to do something with an ultrasound tech.
Cool. And you are a what?
Freshman.
Freshman in the program. Miss Alicia Young, same questions for you. Your name, where you're from, what year you are, and your major.
I am Alicia Young. I am from McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania. I'm a sophomore, and my major is business management.
Woo woo. All right, and we have, just think about this, both WPIAL players in here. So from the WPIAL, Stowe Rocks in the house, Knox High School, also from the WPIAL, North Catholic. Look at three WPIAL people in one place at one time. Just got to love Western PA basketball, folks.
Yep.
All right, so let's get back into questions about Cal U women's basketball. I think viewers like to kind of know your experience. Nina, why don't you start off? This is just off topic. Talk to us a little bit about why, in the first place, you came to Cal U. This is your first year here at the program. Explain why you came here.
So in high school, I had a lot of team camps here. So obviously I was here all 4 years. So played on the courts every single year.
Stayed in the dorms?
Stayed in the dorms,
Yep.
right. I had a lot of interaction with both of you two, and I liked your connection that you guys had together. The floor was amazing.
You're a facility person, huh?
yeah.
That was important.
Yeah.
I actually agree with that. Great facility to come into.
And then, of course, Coach Strom.
Absolutely.
As a point guard knowledge.
Who wouldn't love that? 2 point guards working together. If I'm a point guard, I'm coming here too, for sure, 100%. Alicia, let's go back. We probably haven't talked about that. We already explained like why you wanted to come here last year. You were on the show. Explain to the viewers your biggest growth from last year playing, and maybe even academically, and then to this year. What differences that you've noticed in yourself from freshman year to sophomore year?
Oh my God, there's so many. Where do I start?
Why don't we start with basketball? What are the things that you feel like you've just gotten so much, you had so much growth with understanding?
My confidence level for sure. You know, coming in as a freshman with a lot of upperclassmen, you don't always have that, you know, that oomph to you. And confidence was big for me because being confident means you're playing comfortable, and I wasn't playing comfortable. So now I am, and things been good.
Absolutely. And went from, honestly, limited minutes as a freshman. I mean, still played, got a ton of action in games. Not, I want to say ton in terms of minutes, to a starter. Now, obviously, you had to have some basketball growth. Besides confidence, what do you think that you just really worked on that whole year into this year? Like, what are some of the things that you feel like you've just gotten better with?
Like skill-wise?
Anything.
Do
you think an understanding?
For sure.
I would say that it takes some time.
For sure, because not understanding, you're not able to talk how you're supposed to, you know, communicate. You're not in the right places, the right rotations.
The talk is night and day.
Yeah.
But we noticed that in freshman to sophomore. It's one of the biggest growth. Coming in, really knowing what you're doing because you spent a whole year doing it. Coming in, ready to go, and kind of trying to show the way to others. Nina, tell the viewers right now what it's like. Now, we have had some veteran point guards here at Cal U, All-American point guards here at Cal U. A pretty high standard that Coach Strom places on point guards, very tough on point guards. Talk about your experience being a freshman point guard for the Cal U women's basketball team so far.
I mean, at first it definitely was a lot, but as I grew to know the team and Coach Strom and the things that she wanted me to do, started to transition more, get more comfortable.
A lot of emphasis is played on the point guard position.
Yes.
Is that something that you were used to? or like, you know, to have that much responsibility in high school? Like, have you always felt like responsible?
Kind of, but at the same time, there's a lot more things that I have to pay attention to in college. So I have a shot clock now. I got to get us into the right plays. I got to see the mismatches. There's just a lot more, because I know in high school I didn't have the mismatches because everybody was like the same size.
It's different.
So I have to see a lot more, and I'm working on it. I'm getting there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, day by day, get better and better. All right. So talking about season, why don't you give your opinion about, you know, where we were, where we've come, and where you think we are now, and how do you think the season's panning out?
I think we started out our season really, really strong. We have so many different assets on our team, but we let the little stuff and the mental errors catch up to us, and we've been in kind of a drought. But I feel like now we're kind of picking it up, and we're on that road to just killing and wins and wins and wins.
A lot more confidence on the defensive end, I would say, even from sitting in my perspective, watching you all. I'm not on the court. I get to sit there and watch you guys play basically every day in practice, and then watch you put that into games. Much more confident in our defense. I think much more clear about what the expectations are and how to get them. Nina, for you, where do you think we are right now?
For our defense, or just overall, I think we're doing good. I mean, obviously the mental errors are catching up to us, but that past game, the one that we won, Mansfield, is it Mansfield? Or
no, we lost to Mansfield.
What, Westchester?
Westchester, yep.
I felt like that was a good game that we need to win, because now we know we can beat good teams like that.
Absolutely.
So I felt like now we're going to take that, we're going to keep going up, especially with our defense. Like, our defense is a main point of why we won that game. So now that we know that we can, we're just going to keep going up with it.
And, you know, some important questions, I think, to ask of yourself and for your team. Leish, what are some of the things that you think that you can do in practice or in game, you know, to help propel, you know, us to a victory in games?
You know, it's all about roles. We all have roles. So I just got to play my role by doing what I'm best at. You know, making sure not to slack off on practice, give my teammates the best, you know, the best of the best, so they can go out and they can execute. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I love that answer.
I just got to do what I have to do on the court and
make things happen.
Be their biggest cheerleaders.
Yeah. Nina, for you?
Mine would definitely be just handling the ball, handling the pressure, getting us into the plays, and making sure I get the ball to the people who we draw plays for. That is the main key that I've been working on recently.
Good. So you're taking each game basically as a learning lesson for you.
Yes.
Each practice as a learning lesson. You know, like I said, I think Coach Strom's pretty tough on every point guard, puts a lot of responsibility on you. And how do you feel like you're handling that?
I mean, I would say pretty good.
Absolutely.
Whenever she is yelling at me, I'm focused. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do that again.
I gave you a compliment on the way over here. I will say, if someone gets on you and gets tough, like from the coaching staff, you handle it really well. You shake your head and you say, absolutely, and you try to get better with it. Yeah. I love that about you. That's one thing in terms of being coachable. It's tough sometimes. No one likes criticism, right? It's tough. How about you? How have you feel like you have changed handling, whether it's coaching or criticism or anything? How do you feel like you've gotten better with that? It's still hard to take sometimes, right?
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, it is. But you just got to know it's coming from a place of just people or coaches or teammates wanting you to be better. They're not saying these things just to pick on you. Clearly you're doing something wrong, and they're trying to help out your game. So it's kind of like an understanding, like, okay, I get where they're coming from. Let me just take this.
Yep. And I see you two, like, sitting next to each other. You guys are buds. How did you guys get to be so close? A freshman with a sophomore. Listen, you yearned. Alicia, yearned. You were the only freshman last year.
Yeah.
You at least have multiple people, freshmen, to be around with. Poor Alicia by herself on Freshman Island. How did you guys get to be so close? Because you guys are pretty close.
Yeah. What do you think, Nina?
How did it happen?
You just had a good vibe together? You just got along?
Genuine meets genuine, I feel like. And, like, a lot of this is a lot of teams, not just our teams, but teams are clicked up, and like you naturally fall into.
Well, especially the older people. I mean, they're older. We have some, older people on our teams in terms of in their 20s, and that maybe live in a different building, in a different place. Maybe you don't have a car.
That too, yep.
So you guys are roughly in the same spots in the dorms. So just kind of spending more time with each other.
Yeah, she's cool.
She did say the same thing.
You're cool.
That's he trying to stir the pot.
I'm just kidding. Oh, well, listen, it was such a pleasure to have you on. What's one thing, as we can end this segment, what is one of the things that you're really excited about, as we're past January 1st. It's a new year. We're getting really hot and heavy into the PSAC conference season. What are some things that you are looking forward to as your phone goes off? Can you just put that on a little silent?
Yeah.
Popular person.
Alicia.
One of her teammates probably needs something. Get some answers about what you're having for lunch.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what was the question?
That kind of
interfered. Yeah.
What are some things that you are really looking forward to as we get, moving now into, heavy PSAC play?
I'm so excited for our team to just catch our flow. Like, we have such a good team, and I'm just ready for us to just bloom.
Put it all together.
And hop on that road to just success and just it being all together instead of, there's this fall down, there's this breakdown. We're just together as a team, and we're
playing a full game, both offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
We don't have those slip-ups.
Nina, for you, what are you most excited for?
It would definitely be once we put it all together. I mean, we're right there. We just got to take one more step.
Yes,
and then
forward.
Even whenever we have those little slip-ups, it's not going to bring us down. We're still going to go up because that's how good of a bond like our team got. So
absolutely, and all fighting because the work ethic is there.
For sure.
That's one thing I always say about Cal U typically is like the work ethic is always there. We might miss a shot, we might miss shots, we might turn it over, but typically we battle, and I feel like those past two games that we've had, Westchester and Gannon defensively, limiting points, limiting rebounds, different things of that nature has kind of really shown what we can do. But I think we're all excited to kind of put the foot on the gas pedal and put it all together. So there you have it, folks. Right from Nina Shaw and Alicia Young, two young players on the Cal U women's basketball team. We will be back with Miss Jessica Strom.
Come on out to the Convocation Center and support men's and women's basketball for the 2023-2024 season. The Vulcans are looking to put the PSAC on notice this year after both teams are picked towards the top of the preseason conference rankings. There will be 13 men's games and 16 women's games at home. Follow calvulcans.com for any update. All games will be live on CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC network.
Come out, our team's going to be very exciting. We have a lot of good players. I think we play the game the right way, very up-tempo. I think we're going to be able to score some points. I think our defense is going to be great. Our guys have great energy.
Come to our games. I think once you get here, you'll really like what you see. I think it's exciting. These players put in a ton of time, a ton of effort to put out a good product on the floor. And like I said, I think it's super exciting, and you really want to come back.
The PSAC Digital Network is on the cutting edge of live event production and streaming. Every season, the PSAC Digital Network features nearly 2,000 contests, over 1 million unique viewers, over 26 million minutes watching thrilling PSAC competition, including 22 PSAC championship tournaments and events. Since its beginning in the 2017-18 season, the PSAC Digital Network has continued to grow its viewership and improve its quality every year in order to capture exciting highlights, captivating moments, and the championship experience that only the PSAC can offer. All 18 PSAC member institutions have a completely cost-free online portal that makes tuning into your favorite team just one click away. Find it all on the web at PSACSportsDigitalNetwork.com.
Regardless of the season, follow all the action with CUTV Sports. From the gridiron to the hardwood, the pitch and the diamond, CUTV Sports has you covered with almost 100 live games a year. With multiple camera angles, graphics, announcers, and replays, for 37 seasons, CUTV Sports is your home for Vulcan Athletics. Get out of the huddle and into the action with CUTV Sports.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with the reason why we host this show, Miss Jess Strom. Happy New Year. And
Happy New
We've
Year.
said that to each other a million times. In fact, I think I was leaving the gym and I said, see you next year. And you just shook your head in disgust because you're just not even close to as corny as I am. You're more logical
Or
and
I've
realistic.
probably heard that 15 years in a row.
Makes me laugh every time. All right, let's talk some Vulcan basketball, if you will. Interesting stretch here for the Vulcans. Kind of uncharted territory, but nothing new in terms of knowing how basketball goes. Let's start with when we came back from Christmas break. On the road, go the night before, trip to Mansfield, end up losing that game. Talk to us and the viewers a little bit about your thoughts on what that was.
Yeah, so even before that, though, before break, it's tough to end on a loss. So going into break, you always want to win that game because then you're at home for a week and you're just thinking about it.
So that was Lock Haven.
That was Lock Haven, who is a good team.
Absolutely.
It came down to the end, obviously. It was a good game.
Fell short.
But fell short at home. And so you just kind of have a bad taste in your mouth.
Sit on that
like
for-
obviously you have a great Christmas and you hope that the players have a really good break and they need it. And so when you come back, I think, you really want to get after it because you're just sitting on a loss, and that's a long time to sit on a loss. So I kind of thought we would come out differently at Mansfield, to be honest. I thought we'd play with a little more energy, but I've learned this year there's a lot of lessons that we need to learn, I would say, to be a really great team, which is fine. I think we learned it. I think we went to Mansfield. I didn't think we gave our best effort.
Which is unusual for not the standard that has been set. Just didn't get it done.
Yeah, I think we just didn't do the little things that we needed to do, that you need to do every game, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing. I think we needed to check ourselves a bit. I think we needed a reset, just like I said, on the little effort things. So obviously disappointed that we lost that game, but I do think it kind of gave us an opportunity to learn and kind of get back to like who we are as a team.
So it was basically you're trying to say that it was zero fun to come into practice those next few days. Very difficult times in the convocation center, but hard lessons to be learned. You have to learn them.
Yeah, I think I just assumed some things, whereas I think we needed to practice some things. I think we needed to dive on the floor. I think we needed to take charges. I think we needed to really emphasize our defense and playing hard every possession. So yeah, it was not that fun, but
lessons were learned.
Yeah, I think it was needed. So and I think if we fast forward to our last two games, I think that we did those things. I think going into Westchester, they're a really good team. Their record does not reflect, I think, how good they are, and I think I could say the same about us at this point. But we did the little things. We dove on the floor. I think our defense was really good. We were pressuring the ball like crazy. We knew what was going on. We were aware. So if you have to have a few days like that to get back to that, then that's what you have to do. And I'm super proud of how we responded. I think we responded and played really tough.
And that was the first time in a while that I felt like the real true CalU came out on the defensive side of the ball. The grit, the nasty, the hustle, the all-out, full-out pressure until you melt kind of stuff. And I feel like that was really, really strong, especially from the beginning of the game.
Yeah, it started from the beginning, and we held them to 51 points, and they averaged 75 maybe. So for us, that was the stance. Okay, we're going to be here, we're going to play defense, we're going to do the things that we are good at to win, games against good teams.
Yep, and most people, when they watch the highlights of that, they'll see all the offensive end. But I think one thing that we were fired up was the defensive end that they don't see in the highlights.
Yeah, and we were talking about a lot. The things you don't see in the highlights win games, like diving on the floor, getting the 50-50 balls, offensive rebounding, like all those things win, but they really don't show up in the stat sheet or on the highlights.
Did you feel like at the end of that game you were like a little bit of, did you feel like a pressure of having 2 tough losses or anything like that? I'm curious what you felt.
No.
I was just happy that we played the way we could play.
I just think I know our ability and our potential, so I was just happy that we showed that, especially on the defensive end. I think offensively we have some work that we still have to do, but for us, that's what we preach. So I was just happy
that there was execution on that level. And so now, right after Westchester, get to play at home again, which I think is a huge advantage in terms of protecting the house. Played the number 3 team in the nation in a really, really back and forth game, a really tough game. We're on the losing end, but might be one of the first times even for me. Obviously, you're always not happy with a loss, but proud of their efforts.
Yeah, I think we played hard again. I think defensively we were pretty good.
Yeah.
I think we pressured them into a lot of turnovers. And, between us and Gannon, it's always a battle. 2 very different styles. They play hard, we play hard. It was a good game probably to watch. It comes down to a few free throws, maybe some layups, and it's a different game. But, yeah, super proud of our effort. And I think at the end of the day, that's all you can ask. Like, we leave everything out there. You lose, then we'll come back next time and get it again.
And no one's whistling and all excited that you have a loss, but you can kind of hang your hat on the fact that you thought that you put it all out there. I mean, isn't that what we always preach? We preach toughness. We preach, going hard and playing defense and doing those things. I mean, I thought there were many moments where we just maybe didn't capitalize on the offensive end as much as we thought we could.
Yeah, and I think, some of the things that you can measure, like our offensive rebounds the last 2 games have been outrageous. Our turnovers we forced have been really good. So those kind of effort things, like we can build on that. I say we could be a very scary team if we can put it all together. And I think we will. I think we're going in the right direction, coming off a loss. Like we have lost 3 out of our last 4 games, but to me, we're playing better.
That is the biggest thing too. Like you see that it hasn't happened often. I know we went through a little skid last year where we lost some games in a row. But it's such an odd feeling. The difference between when you don't put it out there to when you do is completely different. The feeling in the building, the feeling when you go home at night. When you play that hard and don't come up with it, you can kind of say, okay, we could have done this, and this to correct some things, or maybe hit a shot, or maybe hit, whatever. But you're not that infuriated whenever your players really try to represent us the way we ask them to.
Yeah, because I think we can take that into our next game. I think we're moving in the right direction. I think their effort's been really, really good in practice and game. Since that Mansfield loss, I think we have changed a bit. So I'm excited. I'm excited for our next game. That's the thing. Once you lose, you want your next game to come.
Oh, you can't wait. So, I get so excited. Like, I wish today and tomorrow just sped through so we could get right to the game. Playing here at home versus a very fast-paced Seton Hill team. Talk to us a little bit about this game. What do you expect? Different things of that nature.
Yeah, it's very different than the last 2 we have played. They go fast. They score a lot of points. So I think we're going to have to really match up in transition. We're going to have to talk a lot. And I want to see our offense, come to life a little bit in this game. We've been working a ton on, turning the other team over and then capitalizing on those mistakes. So I'm hoping that we can, kind of get that going, because for us, steals to scores is the best way. It's the best way to do it. So hopefully, we get that, we get there. I have to remind myself a lot that we're new. A lot of people are playing a lot of minutes that are new, and we're going to get it. I think this week is huge for us to show that.
Absolutely. And as we're getting going, I mean, this is where, everything is just becoming more urgent. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you say? It's so funny to me that we were just talking about this. It's past January 1. We have January, February, and you just pray that you put it all together to be able to have that opportunity to play in the PSAC playoffs, to be able to get a chance to get to the NCAA playoffs. It's going quicker than I think we had anticipated.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we've played almost half our regular season games. And that's what I try to say, you can't take any game lightly or for granted, because those games will kill you at the end. You have to play every game like it matters. And I think we've got that now. I think we're going to show up every game, and I think good things happen when we show up. You know, when we're us and we come and we play hard. But when it gets to Wednesday, Saturday, it flies.
Yeah,
it's going to fly by.
Do you like this rhythm better? Like for you as a coach, do you like the rhythm that you get into? You know, no more non-conference games for us. Do you like the rhythm of Wednesday, Saturday with the occasional Monday?
Yeah, I do. I just think the players know what to expect now. You know, like it's always going to be 2 days to prepare, 2 days of the scout, and then a game, and then Sundays are off day. Like I think it gets you in a rhythm. You know what's going on. You know what to expect.
And I love to be in full PSAC play too, because we have at least a decent understanding now. You know, obviously with the new coach Maeve Gallagher at Seton Hill, a little bit different. Seton Hill, you know, with new coaches at Slippery Rock, you know, different things that new coaches at Clearing, but you still have an idea of the team. I always love that besides a non-conference game, because you have a good idea of who you're kind of going up against.
Yeah, it's PSAC West time. Like we know each other well. Even when we played Gannon, like we know what they're going to do. They know what we're going to do. It's just a battle every time, and everybody's fighting for playoff spots now. Like now
that's how
they
it is.
are. Yeah, so it's going to be fun. I'm anxious to see how we come out and how we act and how we grow, you know, together.
But isn't it wild though how good the PSAC is in terms of it doesn't matter on any given night. You're given a game. I mean, we got hit by you know, 2 East teams quickly, you know, and you got to bounce back from losses and just know that you're going to fight every single day to get wins in the PSAC.
Yeah, and I think actually last year's experience for the players that were here kind of help us now. Like we had a rough time at the beginning last year, you know, way worse than our record now.
Absolutely.
So,
but kind of we were on that path.
yeah,
but
and
way,
I think
way worse.
And I think that maybe will help us now. Like we don't want to do that again. We don't want to have to get to the end of the season and win that last game to make the NCAA tournament. I think we have learned we need a sense of urgency now.
Absolutely.
We need to win now.
So in terms of getting it back on track, getting a win, what does Cal U have to do?
I think we just have to be us. I think we got to stick to what we do. I think we need to rebound, pressure the ball, play defense, dive on the floor. You know, all the little things that make us tough. I think we need to do those things, and I think we'll be successful.
Day by day. There you go, folks. That's the key for the Vulcans. We have a home game this Wednesday versus Seton Hill, 5:30 p.m. Then we are on the road at Slippery Rock, 1 p.m. On Saturday. So follow the Vulcans. You can follow us online. You can follow us along. Come to the games. We need all the fans we can get. We're still on break. Building's not full. Can't wait till the students get back and administration and all that. But please follow us along. Let's go Vulcans, and we will talk soon.